These are the 7 levels of Fortnite YouTuber, starting at level 1, the Scum. Creators so disliked that millions watch and celebrate their downfalls. I think the defining traits of level 1 are a lack of morality and the lust for money, qualities best showcased by Lispy Jimmy, a person whose entire channel is just clickbait free skin tutorials, fake leaks on highly anticipated content, and videos on items that don't even exist. Each video is stretched out to at least 8 minutes long, usually consisting of begging for subs, fake giveaways, fake tutorials on whatever the video is about, and then filling in the remainder of the time with uncommentated gameplay to hit the mid-roll ad mark. And the unfortunate part of it all is that it works very well and has made him tons of money, mostly because his audience are young kids who don't know any better. But it's not just Lispy Jimmy and his clones down in the trenches of level 1, but also lolcows like Dr. Witnesser, now the faithful sheriff. Any fame they have comes from controversy and the overwhelming majority hate them. They are also frequent targets of trolling, but all of this hate is ironically what gives the lolcow a career, enabling them to keep coming back. It's an entirely different approach to level 2, what I call the monocrop. These creators exist solely to pump out content in the easiest way possible, which is unedited Fortnite clip compilations. There are hundreds of these channels, some with massive subscriber counts, yet you probably don't recognize any of them by name. All they do is repost streamer gameplay or create compilations of the top Twitch clips of the day. Just like a monocrop in real life, they satisfy a need for a consistent intake of sustenance, but they require insane amounts of extraneous input. In terms of Fortnite YouTube, clip channels fulfill the need for daily content. Additionally, they provide a pipeline for Twitch content to make its way to the larger Fortnite audience who exclusively watch YouTube and or TikTok. But at the same time, their existence is entirely dependent on Twitch streamers. If nobody is streaming or Fortnite is in a content drought, the clip channels will suffer. A lot of people criticize these channels for stealing content, and while that is mostly true, DMCA striking their videos isn't the solution. It's akin to what Valve CEO Gabe Newell said about piracy. Piracy is almost always a service problem and not a pricing problem. If a pirate offers a product anywhere in the world, and the legal provider says that the product is region locked, then the pirate's service is more valuable. In other words, stream content on Twitch is niche and most people just want the highlights handed to them in a short video. When done correctly with credit given to the streamer and some light editing work, clip channels are extremely valuable to the Fortnite community. Which is why I think an honorable level 2.5 mention should be made for clip channels like Streamer Highlights. Streamer Highlights was a mostly competitive based clip channel active around pre-2020. His videos were high quality, offering multiple pro player and streamer perspectives of tournaments that happened recently. This in my opinion is a great example of how despite being low effort and a bit scummy, clip channels, just like monocrops, are needed to hold up the community. Which takes us to level 3, a category I deem the messengers. Whether casual or competitive, these channels all serve the need for news delivery. Usually within hours of a Fortnite update or news announcement, channels like I Talk Fortnite, I Fire Monkey, and Tabor Hill will shit out a 10-minute video going over it. Due to the nature of news content needing to be fast, it is minimally edited and just does what it has to. The same goes for competitive recap channels like Aussie Antics, K-Dog, and Spudzan. Or if you were around before 2021, the Fortnite guy. There isn't much to say for level 3, they are respectable but also easily replaceable. And I think this is where level 4 content creators differentiate. They aren't replaceable, but they also don't command the same respect as the levels above. Before that though, just know that this shit is genuinely hard to rank. Feel free to rage at me in the comments if you think I should never cook again, and I will probably just ignore it and pretend like I did nothing wrong. Level 4 is by far the largest level entailing gameplay commentary YouTubers, challenge YouTubers, and what I'll call the old guard. Despite the differences in genre, the quality is similar. The editing is usually light and the visuals are mostly gameplay, but videos at level 4 always have some kind of unique idea or story to tell. This is where I would put mainstream commentary YouTubers like Leo, Top 5 Gaming, Big Craig D, Clark Clint, and Pro Zero. Their content is more than just reading patch notes, but rather discusses the implications of updates. That being said, editing for a lot of these guys is just adequate, with their personalities usually making up the shortfall. Next up for this category is what I would call challenge slop, entailing creators like Lachlan, Muselk, and Luke the Notable. While challenge slop has been the brunt of criticism in recent times, there is no denying that it at least makes level 4. It is edited to some degree and has a story to tell, though it is definitely not for everyone and it gets repetitive pretty fast. Finally, for level 4, I have streamers in the old guard. These are content creators like CypherPK, Nick830, and Typical Gamer, who have stuck with Fortnite since the beginning. Their content is usually just re-uploaded stream content or commentary on trendy topics, but they command respect on the fact alone that they are the biggest personalities in the game. If this was a video on the 7 levels of streamer, their placement would be a lot different, so let me know if you guys want to see that video. Level 5 to me is where we start to break into great content. Whether through sheer effort or educational value, it leaves the viewer with something memorable. This is broadly where I would put documentary and guide creators. People like Marin TM, It's Jerian, Jivin, TS Knows, Ken Beans, and Evolve Jake. These are the most well-known names in the education space and have undeniably contributed to the Fortnite community becoming better through the tips they share, for better or for worse depending on who you ask. Although if I was to make a level 5.5 for educational creators, I would put some of the all-time greats like Slyjack, BollaTW, and Destiny's Jesus. On the flip side of level 5 are what I see as edutainers, people who make high quality documentaries such as Aced, Bronos, Just a Cole Before He Quit, and of course shameless plug for myself. Like and subscribe, you know the drill. It could be argued that edutainment is the same as mainstream commentary from level 4, but I think the editing and scripted nature differentiates it. Rather than just gameplay interrupted by an occasional picture or scene from Breaking Bad, there is usually more complex VFX and motion graphics, though neither of these really compare to level 6, what I'll call the innovators. This is where you begin to see the creators who either pioneered a specific niche or are just irreplaceable in the niche they inhabit. I'll start with the documentary and analysis niche and talk about Resub. His content is the gold standard for Fortnite analysis. The editing and motion graphics are always top quality. Reese and his editor Noller really can't get enough praise. A common theme with level 6 creators like Resub is that they are the ones getting cloned by others. And yes, that guy who called me a Resub clone 10 months ago still is rent-free in my head. On the topic of top tier editing, I have Grumbe and Uzub. I normally don't care for montage content since it's very repetitive, but these two were special. Some might argue that Grumbe's editing is childish, and while I do agree, there is no denying that this guy had serious fucking aura in the community a few years back. If he uploaded, every big streamer desperate for content would react to it. On the other hand, Uzub is a name that you may not remember, but you likely remember his How X Streamer Really Plays Fortnite series. Just like Grumbe, he has serious aura in the community and his view counts speak for themselves, but level 6 doesn't need to only be insane edits, as I think Laserbeam deserves a spot here for being the GOAT of the challenge video niche. Especially back in the chapter 1 and 2 days, he was really pushing the limits of the game. His winning without moving videos for sure in the Fortnite YouTube Hall of Fame. Another thing to note is that even without Fortnite, Laserbeam still pulls massive numbers on YouTube, something that almost no one can do. Prime McCreamy also deserves to be up here, especially during that one time he managed to get the entire community to put XD in their name and start going for mid trick shots. And as someone who came from Overwatch and knows how well respected McCreamy was in that scene, I think he deserves level 6. Finally, I want to include an unexpected one, which is Chap, or really his editor Pirates. Chap himself was a great entertainer which made for one-of-a-kind competitive moments. Combine this with the editing ability of Pirates and you get what is the greatest content Fortnite competitive ever had. Towards the end of his Fortnite career, Pirates would create what is probably the greatest series of Fortnite nostalgia montages. Of course, getting a reaction from every single streamer in the community. A level of aura really only superseded by level 7, the Ascended. These are the creators that leave a legacy, and I'll just get it out of the way. It's only C-Day and Fearless. They both have the most insane viewer counts I've ever seen for a Fortnite YouTube channel. Every video was a spectacle for the streaming community to react to, even if it wasn't a Fortnite video. The interactions they recorded and the story that was told with it made these videos one of a kind. You don't even need to know Fortnite to enjoy their videos, which is what made them so great at appealing to the widest audience. It doesn't matter how long these two go without uploading, millions will wait for their return. In a way, it is the ultimate irony. The only people who have made it to level 7 have quit. They ascend Fortnite. Subscribe and check out some of my other videos.